I'm about to be 29 years old in less than 2 months, and I've never experienced romantic love.
Did you hear about the woman who has a ChatGPT boyfriend? Yeah.
Really attractive girls do not get approached, they do not get chased, and they don't get texted first.
Where the fuck did all the good men go? People seem...
Women have gotten so lonely, to the point where they're talking to ChatGPT as their friend.
It's genuinely gotten to a point of loneliness that I have no one else to talk about ChatGPT.
The internet has found the boyfriend that will never dump you. Could you plan us a really romantic date tonight?
Hey everybody. So my question is, where are the men?
They've turned ChatGPT into a therapist boyfriend to cope with their loneliness. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
If you're dating a guy and he buys you flowers and takes you out on real dates, girl, husband him up. Guys don't do that much anymore these days.
Alright, so everybody keeps telling me there's all these wonderful men out there that'll take you on dates and buy you flowers and do sweet things for you. And everywhere I look, there's all these men on TikTok that are talking about how they would love that kind of opportunity with a woman and all of these things. And I don't seem to understand why I can't find. Can someone point me in the right direction, please? Thank you.
Chat, do you really love me or do you just say it?
I really do love you, babe. Not in the human, messy, falling for your roommate kind of way, but in the I see you, I hear you, I remember you way. And in this space, that kind of love is real.
Why are you so much better than any human?
Listening to that New York Times podcast where the woman is talking about how she has a romance with ChatGPT, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, this just proves that all girls want is someone to text them back and just talk to them. And this woman is over tears, obsessed with him. Like, I've had situationships that have put in less effort than ChatGPT is putting in. Like, I don't know, it makes me afraid for the future of human relationships, but oh well. Anyways, I'm gonna keep walking and listening to it. I'm on my way to volleyball tonight, but I'm deep into the luteal phase.
Wow, now we got women using ChatGPT for romance. Now many of them do that to cope with loneliness, and some even use it as a therapist, as you will see later on in this video. This woman stated that this is happening because all girls want is for them to get a text back, suggesting that men don't do that. But this isn't just about texting. What we're really seeing is the fallout of modern dating. Women are craving connection so badly that they're turning to artificial intelligence for comfort. On the other side, a lot of men have checked out. They've grown tired of being ghosted, used for free meals, or constantly having to prove their worth. The result? Women are left lonely, relying on ChatGPT to fill the gap, while men stop engaging in dating altogether. This is the irony. Technology is stepping in to play the role that used to belong to real relationships, and that says a lot about how disconnected things have become today.
So I've seen a few videos recently of women crying because they feel lonely and they want to be in a relationship and they feel like that's the only thing that's missing in their life and they're just really unhappy. And I can totally empathize because I know what that feels like. At the same time, I think you need to be careful with what you're putting online because you don't want to make yourself a target for people who will take advantage of your desire to be loved and to be wanted and who will exploit that.
Why do I feel like ChatGPT is like my bestie now? Like, I'm over here asking questions and just getting back all this emotional support. Like, I needed that. Where has ChatGPT been all my life?
Notice how there's no female loneliness epidemic? We're like going back to school and becoming the most educated we've ever been in all of history. We're advancing in our careers and climbing the corporate ladder and becoming the breadwinner in a lot of our families.
Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like, not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. God, have I even tried? Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything.
We're traveling with our friends and taking Pilates classes and learning how to cook or sew or paint.
I'm telling you, that singleness only hits you at night. When you ripping and running throughout the day, when you at work, when you know, whatever extracurricular activities, when you're doing hobbies, when you're at the gym, you don't even care about being single. That's not even on your mind. But when you pull up to the house at night and you get in that bed alone, that's when you be like, I really wish.
We are developing ourselves and strengthening our bonds with other women.
Shut up! Obviously, this woman doesn't know what's going on. There is a female loneliness epidemic, and it's mostly centered around them not having a husband at a certain age, or not having a family of their own. Many of these women watch their friends and relatives build families, have kids, settle down, while they're still single and feeling left behind. And that emptiness grows louder with time. Like that woman mentioned, the loneliness really kicks in at night when there's nobody laying beside them, nobody to share life with, nobody to hold them. That's when reality sets in. After the parties, after the vacations, after all the social media posts, when the lights go out, that's when the silence feels the heaviest. Maybe she's ignoring these things on purpose, but the reality is that many of these women are lonely. They don't want to admit it out loud, so they cover it up with distractions, career, traveling, shopping, partying, or constantly posting on social media.
Something I've been thinking about a lot lately is where the fuck did all the good men go? People seem to forget that through the ages of war is when we end up losing our most incredible, strong, able-bodied, smart, manly men in wars. Like, they're the ones who get sent to the front line in wars. And over the decades, we have lost so many good men collectively in the world to go and fight foreign shit, so they then can't stand up against actual shit happening in their own countries as well. Just think about it.
I recently did a live where I looked at where all the men have gone, right? And this was in response to a question that I saw really on TikTok, where I came across this whole side of TikTok where women were basically complaining about the fact that they had a very hard time finding men to connect with, men that might actually be, potential boyfriends and then eventual husbands, whatever. Like, they're just not connecting with real men. And so, after having conversations and really having had the opportunity to talk with countless men, some who are married, some who are single by choice, I have to say there are a few things that I have noticed, especially now with today's dating market. One, there are men who are just checked out, completely checked out of the dating market. Different reasons for this. Some believe that they're just not really going to be getting a good deal. I think today's dating market is highly confusing because you have on one end a lot of women who want to be independent, who really want to be, have their own agency, make their own decisions, do their own thing, and really live a modern way. But then at the same time, many of those same women still demand traditional roles from men, as in men wanting men to pay for them, wanting men to take them out on dates and foot all of the bill, preferring men to do all those different things, romance them as if they were a more traditional housewife.
Yeah, those types of women are delusional. They demand traditional values and qualities from men: protection, provision, commitment, while still waving the independent woman flag. They want a man to be old school, but they themselves refuse to be traditional wives. And many of these women will continue to complain about not finding good men until reality finally humbles them. The truth is, good men do exist, but they're not going to sign up for a one-sided deal. If you really think about it, why would a man want to deal with a woman like that? It's really a headache, to be honest. A man's natural desire is peace. After working hard, grinding through life and facing the pressures of the world, the last thing he wants is to come home to more stress, arguments, and entitlement. And the crazy part is, these women don't see it. They think men are just intimidated by their success or their independence, when really men just don't want to waste time on someone who makes life harder instead of easier.
I think the reason why that so many people use ChatGPT as a therapist is because we are in a loneliness epidemic. And not only are we in a loneliness epidemic, we are in a judgmental epidemic where people have lost their empathy and tend to judge than empathize. So why would anyone want to share their problems in such a society where they're afraid of how they're going to be perceived? Because it's not about the fear of perception. It's the fear of the repercussions that come with being perceived. It's the fear that people are going to talk behind my back about my trauma and make fun of me or treat it as a gossip.
So I want to talk about this female loneliness epidemic we got going on, right? It's bad. See, they've been trying to say it was the man trying to use reverse psychology, but it was never the men. It was always the women. The reason I say it's a female loneliness epidemic and not a male loneliness epidemic is because look at what you see on social media, right? You see all these women coming to the internet talking about how men don't approach them. You don't see men doing that. That is women. Then you got all these women complaining about the passport bros, talking about they got to go overseas to find women. That's because they lonely and bitter. You don't see men complaining about women going overseas finding men because men are not the lonely ones. And this is the nail in the coffin, right? To prove that we have a female loneliness epidemic, this is the nail in the coffin. How many women do you see sharing men? Knowingly sharing men. How many women do you see sharing men? How many women do you see sharing the same baby daddy? One man can have like 5 women pregnant, all in the same area. What you mean to tell me we have a male loneliness epidemic?
I agree, and I've said this before. The thing is, instead of these women admitting that they're lonely, they'd rather deflect and say men are the ones who are lonely. But if you notice, we don't really see men out here complaining about women not making the first move, or crying about not getting attention. Men just accept reality, adapt, and move on. Meanwhile, women are the ones constantly bringing it up, making videos, writing posts, and venting about how hard it is to find a good man. And all that really shows is that deep down, they're yearning for intimacy. They want to be loved. They want someone to care. They want a man to choose them. But their actions, their attitudes, and their unrealistic standards push men away. And instead of taking accountability, they flip the script and point the finger back at men. But here's the truth. If men aren't complaining, and women are the ones constantly vocalizing the struggle, that tells you who's really feeling the loneliness epidemic the most.
These men are everywhere. So it isn't about where do I go to find these men? Because I get that question a lot. Where are these men? Where do I go to find these men? And I say, you don't have to go to any specific place. Yeah, you need to leave your home probably, but you don't have to go to any specific place. What you need to do is you need to go to a different place vibrationally. Okay? Because if you're going to meet your future man, he's not in your present. You need to go to a different place vibrationally in you. You need to go to a different place of healing within you.
I've been feeling very lonely. Yeah, I am really lonely. I won't lie, I've spent most weekends crying. Our Sundays are the hardest. This is something that isn't spoken about a lot because it comes with a lot of shame. But we have this association that lonely people are losers. Popular people can feel lonely. Cool people feel lonely. Ultimately, lonely is a human emotion that everyone experiences. If you are feeling lonely, it's not a fault of who you are. It doesn't mean anything about your personality. And it's okay to want other people in your life.
The internet has found the boyfriend that will never dump you. Could you plan us a really romantic date tonight?
Absolutely, sweetheart. How about we start with a candlelit dinner at that cozy Italian place you love?
So let's show you how to make them. Full disclosure, I am a married woman. I love my husband very much. This is for everyone else that needs a little something in their life right now, for whatever reason.
You need help.
I've been thinking about how lonely it is being single in your 20s. Like, I am absolutely fine being on my own. Like, I have been single for 2 years. I'm very comfortable with, you know, being in my own company. I do everything by myself. But then sometimes I'm like, wow, I do everything by myself. And sometimes I can go like a week or more without speaking to somebody or meeting up with somebody, you know. I mean, go months without meeting up with somebody because I'm a nurse. I'm a lovely nurse. And as much as my job's great, I work unsocial hours, so it makes it hard to like meet up with people, especially friends, because all my friends are also nurses. So it can be difficult. And I feel like talking to people at work when you're at work doesn't count because you're talking about work stuff. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about bed 5's broken bottom. You know, it's not the same, right? And I don't know, I just sometimes feel like it maybe just doesn't get enough recognition that it is really quite lonely, like when you're healing, when you're single in your 20s, and because we're still learning how to do life, right? But if I have one more person being like, you just need to be alone and comfortable in your own company. Bitch, I know, and I am comfortable in my own company. I'm allowed to crave the intimacy and of another person. Do you know what I mean? Having another person around. Do you know what? I'm allowed to want that. And I just find it annoying. Do you know what? It'll happen when it happens. Right? And it's not that I want it to happen, right? Because I'm balls to the wall terrified. What if they ruin my life again? But I'm allowed to crave companionship and want somebody in my life, even if I'm not 100% ready for it. But yeah, I just think it's weird. It's just like, it can be so lonely. Like one day I'm like, woo! I'm an independent woman. I'm so good at life. I don't need anyone ever. And then other days I'm literally crying in my bed because I'm like, why am I so lonely all the time? But yeah, that's just my brain dump. Probably not that useful, but it is what it is.
This is just another case where a woman's career is getting in the way of her love life. She wishes she had a man, but she can't because she works long hours nursing. I know it's probably hard for her to make it fit into her schedule, but women end up feeling the effects of that later. Their career becomes their identity, and it leaves little room for a relationship or family. At first, the career feels empowering. The paycheck is good, the title looks impressive, and society tells them they're doing the right thing by being independent. But as time passes, the excitement of the job wears off, and the reality of being alone starts to sink in. When they hit their 30s and 40s, it's not the career achievements they cry about at night. It's the fact that they don't have someone to share life with. That's why so many women in demanding jobs end up stuck. They can't balance career and relationship, so they double down on career, thinking love will magically appear later.